So this is really just more about like why the ball goes where it goes. There's a lot of reasons we can get into a million of them. We're going to kind of go through this individually, why your ball goes where it goes on a pattern, right? And the first thing we do is talk about pattern, we want to have one. I mean, I think everybody here is pretty good about that. Like, maybe you kind of hit that draw over there a little bit too much, but maybe you hit a draw and all that. But if you don't want to have it, just two patterns, which is a draw and a slice coming out. You know what I mean? What I mean is when you don't want to, when you're missing, like if you're trying to hit a cut, you hit a cut, that's great. If you're trying to hit a draw, you hit a draw, that's great. But if you're trying to hit a draw and hit a cut, vice versa, you're going to be able to do a long day for you. So you want to first of all have one pattern, and then develop what is that pattern and where's the weakness in that pattern at. You know, if you're the draw guy, what typically would you say causes too much draw? We'll start with you.
Too far.
We're a good player.
Too far in the plane.
Too far in the plane. So too far in the plane would be, we take the middle of the spine through the ball right here to the middle of the spine through an imaginary line, and then we were under plane. You would be under, basically the shaft would be laid under the shoulder right here, halfway down, right? Then we would work a high angle. And if it just went from here to there. If we worked under and closed the gap, it changes a little bit, Sergio does a little bit of that, and so forth. There's a couple other guys. Not many can get control under the plane, and then they get it, the handle back being really low on the other side. Most times it's just right on the shoulder point, right? Right to the middle of the spine. So that would be classified as underplane. What's some other reason, other way you can work the ball? You always start under plane. If you're a big push draw player,
As it goes along with just in and out.
that's in to out, you have to impact.
Close on the face.
You close both faces. Yeah, so a lot of things happen in impact, but where you want to go to, instead of getting into a lot of stuff as a good player, because you don't want this long list of like all these things. You just first of all, it's under plane, and if you're hitting it straight, if you're hitting it right, let's say you're hitting it right, and it's straight, just like straight right, not a straight right cut or a hook. If you're hitting it straight right, what would it be? It would be a high handle. The first thing you got there would be under plane with a square club face. The under plane square club face would look like it would be like that, right? The square to the plane. So it's under plane and the club face is square to that. Okay? If it's under plane right here and you have that, then you're hitting a draw. Okay? With closing. Okay? So that obviously gives you the opposite of that. So if you're hitting a pull out, that means that your club's coming over, right? Okay, so if the plane is in the middle of the spine, if I'm here, the plane is in the middle of the spine, that's the plane, and my club head is tipped over that, my shaft is over that, and it comes this way, and a low handle, pull. It comes from the middle of the spine here. So if you watch, like there's two ways. So when I go here to the backswing, and I pull from here, right? I go this way. So you see how the shaft's falling? And then it goes down, so you get this over the top and kind of low handle left. This sort of face is going to go to the left. If you open the blades right back a little bit, move back to the right. Okay? What you want to do, the correction for that is, what would it be? What would you guys think the correction for that would be? Let me do it, Alex. It's important. That's why we got our notebooks, and this is what you to know, because like if you ask me correction for that, I'll tell you, 1 second, and you're going to get the right shoulder on plane. Okay? You got to get your right shoulder, when you're doing this, so you're not, your right shoulder, I don't care how low it is, it's not on plane, you're pulling from your spine. What you're trying to do from there is you need to get the right shoulder on plane with the ball you're feeling of it, right? Perfect is your spine, but you attack the inside quadrant of the ball with this shoulder. You don't want to pull from the top. See, you guys see, like I'm rotating here, right? And I'm rotating here. You guys see the difference? So if you guys watch, this is one way to rotate. That's going to be a pull. This is another way to rotate. Still rotating. What's that going to be? Then there's this, which would be on plane. Okay? So it's important to know, obviously, if you're playing around in golf, Larry Mott called me and said he was at the Masters yesterday, and You know, you watch George Speed, somebody here earlier said that, George Speed said a lot of those bad shots down the stretch, they had a high right shoulder for impact. And I can see it on TV, I wasn't watching, kind of relay. When anybody swinging, you can definitely see that you're standing up early. Where's it gonna go if you're standing up early? First ball is gonna go right. Somebody releases it as hard as, rotates it as hard as Jordan does to his ball, left, especially with a driver. Because he has a lot of rotation. He has a lot of sustained rotation. So sustained rotation is like it's rotating. You see, it's like tight versus that's rotation too, and that's not tight. That's not sustained. So he has some good sustained rotation. But if you're doing that and you're bailing out of it a little bit early, you start to catch the inside quadrant of the ball or the outside a little bit. You're coming too far inside and out. You catch actually outside of the ball in the heel, and that thing's going to do it with an iron, bail out, hold the face off, it goes right. But either one of them don't do it. The fix is still the same. You're not trying to fix the rotation of the face. You're trying to fix the posture that your body's supposed to be into and how it's moving to it, right? And so sometimes, like we were talking about the other day, it just happens. He wasn't trying to do that. He's doing the same swing a million times. It just happens. It's like pressure pulls him 2 or 3 inches out of posture and costs him. That and a couple of putts, obviously, costing the tournament. Basically what we're trying to do, obviously, is I'm trying to get you guys to understand what I see if you're on a golf course and you're hitting some pulls out there. You don't want to just pull it for 18 holes, You're going to pull it for one shot and go, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to go attack at it, this outside part of the ball, that right shoulder, and so forth. So we talked about getting the shoulder on plane on the downswing, either way. If you're underplaying, it's the same pitch. You gotta feel over the top, right? And if you're over the top, you kinda gotta feel underplaying a little bit for your pitch. It's just the solution's always opposite in golf. Now we talk about the handle. If you have a high handle, this is kind of an easy question, but if you have a high handle of impact, where's the ball gonna go? If you're at impact, we classify that as high. And down the line handle, where's the ball gonna go? Yeah, it can.
It can go anywhere.
It can go anywhere. That's the thing. That's the whole thing. The reason why you don't want high handle. Because you can clip it right at the knock a hole in one. Really. And you can also knock it out of bounds on either side of the golf course in the batter in. And that's the reason why, down the line, we don't want you guys, down the line this way. If you notice what happens if I'm down the line, why my shoulders in here? Stop. So I gotta go down the line, and then I go again. You see what I mean? Where the swing you guys saw yesterday, all those guys, you're watching them come in and really rotating through the shot. Whether it's Bubba Watson or it's, Jordan Speed. When you look at the rotation Bubba Watson had, there's a lot on the downswing. A lot of the backswing too, but there's certainly a lot of movement. Because he certainly doesn't go like this. Chase it down the line. That club's going for him right, both handle. He even hits a draw, which he draws with his irons and he hits hooks or draws with his irons and slices with his driver. Perfect scenario right now. So, low left handle, let's say if you have does anybody know what causes an actual, say a push draw? A tight push draw. So what I mean like that, not a push hook or a flip hook.
You talking about earlier, the inside quadrant of the ball?
Yeah.
From your side.
There's a lot of ways to do it, so it's not like, there's just one magical answer. There are some tour players that, that really work a little bit more than others, but really most of them are trying to do it with the path of the club through the ball. So if you watch them, you're watching these guys down the line, they'll get, when the club's coming in here and they're working this way, actually the clip face is, why do you think it is an impact on the draw? Open, close, square. Open to close, yeah, it's going open and it's closing, and there's different ways. Some do it with a little hand action, some do it with body, some do it with both. But it's actually, if you look at this, it's open to the plane, open, and then it's closing. This, if it's going like this prior to impact, you're going to not find your ball. that'd be left of the world. You know, you'd rather come in, you just want it real straight to the plane, so if that's the plane here, so yeah, that's flat, that's still open. Does anybody know why that's open? Well, it's see, so if this was straight down the line, if I club came straight down the line with downswing, this is what your downswing would look like. I mean, so your arc is like a V shape, right? So you got a V, like I went like this and drew a V, right? If you watch me going, I mean like that. But if I drew a visual plane like this, you swing around this V. See what I mean? Swing around this V shape. So when you do that, that's massing the ball from the plane like that up there. Okay? That's why you don't need a whole lot of rotation, because the path is doing a lot of it. Okay? That makes sense. So your club here is technically it's open because of the plane, right? And it's squaring back to the other side. Like that. It's not really, you're not really trying to go like that, right? Hopefully, to get a draw. Trying to get a hook, you might. When you're trying to go around trees, you're going to see these guys, put that way down and some of that stuff. And Bubba does some of that actually. If you watch the tournament, he'll do that on some of his irons. Crazy. I mean, it doesn't. It's good enough to do it. We'll tell him otherwise, just one of the green jacket. There's a lot of, with some of those draws he's hitting with the irons. Why does he not do that with his drivers? He wouldn't be able to find his golf ball. He knows how to find his golf ball with a cut. He got a drop. That's what it's designed to do. And he remember, the real answer to that, I guess the science of that would be it's law. The more laws you have, the easier it is to hit a draw. Just a fact. You give me a pitching wedge, let's see if I can get a hook with a pitching wedge, and then give me a driver and hit a high pitching wedge, high hook with that. It's a lot tougher. There's more, takes more athletic ability, more touch, more feel to do it. That's why there's only maybe one guy on the tour that takes a great high draw. Who is that? There you go. Not off the bat, Roy McIlroy, that's what he said, right? I mean, if you had, my life was online, so you got to have one guy hit you a big high draw at Augusta all day, one shot. It wouldn't be Tiger Woods, it wouldn't be Bubba Watson, the other way. It'd be Roy McIlroy. He's got a perfect swing for a high draw. Yes. And he's a shade under the plane. He's got a tight handle for your. Another would be Sergio Garcia. But if you want a high draw, it'd be Rory. Okay? Because he has that whippy snap that you need. And kind of in a draw, there's a few things to do with the drive that's different than iron. You can chase an iron with your shoulder, right? Like we do and hit draws on it. You chase it with a driver like that, it's hard to do if it comes that way. Too low. When you have to get to the driver, you get here, you have to hit the brakes with your body here. So actually, if I was giving Woodland advice on how to hit a draw, I would teach him how to stop his body here and fling it to hit that draw, to have that one shot in your bag. I want to do it with a driver. I do it with two. But you can attack here, you can attack halfway down, but you have to break right here and throw. And if you don't do that, you keep attacking with a driver, the handle's going to get too far forward. Or you attack this way and then you swing the handle too far left. You can't have a really hard low left handle with a driver and hit a high draw. That's why it's a little bit different swing. That's why there's not very many people on tour that can do it. There's just a few. It's much easier to hit a three wood with a high draw than it is a driver. And I think it's a huge advantage if you can't do it like that, a high draw. A lot of this is just understanding what to do, when to do it, and why to do it. So now your swing, what would be your first miss in your draw swing? Well, yeah. Yeah, and why would that be?
I'll describe it as that I would, my swing had too much lag, and I would get my ball moving with my hips, and I would get stuck.
That's a good question. So does lag cause the ball to go right or left?
Right.
Why?
It's going.
Exactly. So if I'm set up here right there, and I push the ball this way without changing the face, without rotating it right or left, and I just push it, the face wants to go backwards here. And lag can be great, and also can be, a lot of people think lag makes the ball go straight. Lag makes the ball go right. That's why when you see somebody going after when they go play, and they try to down cock it like this, and look like Ben Hogan or Sergio Garcia, they they usually hit shanks and they can't break 100. Back in the day, a lot of, especially my generation and before, would try to do that superficially because we'd see it on video with pictures of these guys that had all this lag, so we'd go out there and do this. And then what happens, you get all this lag and you don't have anything to do with it, it just breaks the impact because you're not used to having that much angle, right? So most of the time you don't ever hear anybody going, I hit the hooks after I did that. I hit the shanks and right balls. Okay? What happened was, it wasn't this part that was killing me, it was the, like, having a backlash and fishing, you know, and you know, the angles are going different ways and like this, and you get that backlash. The ball goes everywhere. Get an impact because you didn't sustain it like we were talking about earlier. So you have to release it, which is a throw. This is release, right? And this is rotation, right? So if I just rotate it, look like that can be rotation. But if, in a really good swing right here, you're going to throw it, you're going to release it, and rotate it the amount that you need for your shot. Like Bubba would, he would throw every swing. He would come in here and he would throw it, and he's not working this way, right? He might throw it this way, right? Use his body. Does that make sense? If you throw it, you don't throw it in your golf swing, you're gonna have like Nick, you drag it too much too. What's your dragging of the club cost? What's that? Yep. We're just assuming that the club's on plane, right? What else does it cause besides that? What is dragging? Because you're a dragger too. A puller drag the same thing. What's a pull? So if you pull through impact, if you're a puller through impact, what are some of the things you're gonna see in the shots? One thing you're going to be having a problem with is thin, fat. And you don't get me wrong, you're not thin, fat every time you're a scratch player. But you do that every once in a while. You hit them with drop kick one really bad. Because the energy's not ever the same. It's not letting out the same. So if I took my club just my right hand, I wasn't being technical or even zero. I just went, boom. There was no pull to that, right? And I certainly didn't go like that. I threw it right there. That's what a release is. Okay? If I do my left hand, it'd be like that. See? I'm not trying to go like that. That's superficial. This is what would be more natural. And that's what the club wants it should do. It should be lagged in, thrown like this, and then sustained for what you're trying to do. It should be rotated for what you need, right? It's just important to know how much lag is what is lag? What does lag do? And if you're underplaying and you have lag, those are two. Give me three right thumb rules. I just gave you two of them. No, I don't even get into those stuff. Like just downswing, like talk about the shaft plane and face and all that stuff. If you just I'll give you three right thumb rules real quick. Underplaying is right, lag is right, and open face is right. Okay. Number 4. Puller's right. You can go left too, depending on what you're doing in the face and the shaft. There's a lot of these you can go different ways. But if you just took generals, right? This is general, lag, right. Okay, underplane, right, like this. Open face and impact, right. Those are right. Those are not debatable. A puller that's on puller dragging through here that's underplane, those are definitely right. That'd be a fourth right. Those are all right fundamentals. So then you look at your ball plane, and it right. What do you go to first? Before I go to any of those, I'm going right to the plane of the shaft. Where's it at, and why is it there? So if you're underplane, typically on underplane, you're going to see players do this on video. They go that way. So they get up here like this, and then go underplane like that. You can see the shafts here, high handle, and the body goes right. And that's why you see so many players on tour, they're working the club out. You saw Tiger do that for at least a year. He's not the only one. There's a lot of guys that Kuchar, every swing. He does a crisscross. He's one of the only guys in the line. He definitely runs up right with his driver. He does a crisscross like this. Crisscross. The club goes across his foot line like this. So he ain't even hit a draw. Yeah. But he's not the best ball striker out there. He's a good ball striker. He's not the best. He's going on Matt Kuchar's great at wedge play. He's the best pitcher and chipper on the golf. He's as good as anybody. It's a Phil Mickelson, Tiger Woods, or anybody. He's that level of pitcher. He's underrated. Most people don't realize. He misses a lot of greens. Man, he's get up. And he hits a lot of shots close. He's not horrible. Ball striker, very good one, but he's not a great one like that. I think you need Jordan Spieth to be one. Bubba Watson is one. Just look at the numbers and stats. Look what they do. So And it's just important to know this stuff. So most of our guys here are underplaying. Most of your time you're talking about really big players, whether it's JUCO level or just an amateur or general that's a good player. A lot of them are underplaying. And there's a lot of reasons why they might be doing it. Just because you tilt this way doesn't mean that, just because somebody's underplaying doesn't mean that they do that or that they tilt their body. Sometimes I've seen guys keep their spine here and just they lay the shaft down on their arms. And then usually if they do that, they're usually good about covering what they're getting covered. If they just drop and cover. But it's better even at that. Like Sergio worked on a long time. He's like way better now of getting out of that down cock and getting placed so far behind you. Because you couldn't get it out of the rough back in the old days. He could not get it out of the rough. If your shaft, why could you not get it out? If you're underplaying like this, your shaft's here, and you get, look where this thing's coming in from. To get tall weeds, not going to work. These guys are on plane, see, they go boom. This, not going to work. So if my club's from here, trying to get out of the rough, good luck. If I'm here, I can just let it, I can really out of any line. It's just there's more advantages, It's about like having a hybrid in your bag. You can do all the same things you can do with an iron, except you can do 4 or 5 more things with a hybrid. The other one's handcuffed, like with a long iron. If you've got a good one to pitch you can, So, like a good example of a hybrid, you can hit a hard pan, you can hit it out of a divot, you can hit it out of a bunker, you can hit it out of whatever. And then you get that line and go, I can hit it off the tee in a good lot. I can't hit it out of a divot, I can't hit it out of this, and this. There's about advantages. And that's what being on plane on the downswing. That's why you keep hearing me say downswing. Why do I not say on backswing? You just saw 2 opposite backswings yesterday playing to win a championship. And it wasn't because of backswings they were on there. If you look by theory of backswing playing, then George Speed wins that tournament. Because his backswing playing is perfect. I don't know. But I can tell you he didn't win. He didn't hit it as good as Bo had either. If you just look at the stats and all that stuff. He didn't hit bad. But what I mean by that is the downswing is what makes Jordan Speed. The downswing is what makes Bubba Watson. And whoever's out. So you have to make your downswing more efficient than your backswing. I'm always big about like if it's Matt, worked on getting the club in and around and all that, but at the end of the day, it's whether that shaft comes down where it's supposed to. And sometimes working on the backswing makes the downswing playing work out better position. Sometimes. If it's way off and it's causing your downswing major issues, you want to clean it up, we'll go after it. The main thing about when you're on a golf course, you better be trying to feel where the downswing's coming in from. And if you're missing shots, what your body's doing through impact, and relate to those few things that I gave you. If you're hitting it right, you're probably underplaying. If you're hitting it left, you're probably out going from the spine. Those are things you want to have individually for yourself. Because you're going to be, you don't need to have the same notes as him. You guys are working on opposite stuff. So, all that. That pretty much covers pretty much everything on that. Putting, if you have an in-out stroke, let's just say a slightly in-out stroke with a square blade, what's the ball going to do? That'd be right. If it's square, staying square. Now, if it's square closing, it would be a little draw, which is what the tour does. If you have an in-out stroke with a closed face, too close to the face, it's going to be a pool. And that impact. If it's closing, then that's kind of what the tourist does. And it's very slight. So you're talking, that's in to out like that, and their blades moving about that much where you can't even see it. When you're in your setup, if you set up and your eyes are too far inside the ball in your setup, what should your miss be typically? This is just a general. Right? Why's that? You're seeing everything right. So if I'm here, most times people not bending enough, and they look out like this. When I look, I'm looking this way. I may bend against their eyes over the ball. Just like how I swivel my neck. See when I do that, I'm looking right down the line. When I do this, the swivel, my head's rotating. Just by that. I'm over here too much, when I swivel, you see how I look naturally. I'm not doing anything superficial. Now I'm looking left. And that's why it's so important to have your eyes right on the ball. My ball position is too far forward, and my stance won't go over it perfectly. If it's too far forward, where should your putter be aimed if you're too far forward? With your ball position too far forward? Where would it be in general? And where would your putter be aimed in general? Why?
Because, like, has more time to get through the ball.
Well, even when you set up, so if I set up my ball, I mean, you say left to center, if I bat it off my toe like that, I can tell you right now, that putter's gonna be aimed over here. And so is my body, see how my body's over here? If I pull it back, and I'm saying, I didn't change the face.
Where your hand a little bit.
No, you see, I'm just changing, if I go from here, that's square, I hadn't changed the face yet, I haven't moved the shaft, and I move here. Now does it make sense why I don't want you to move way back in your ball position for a knockout? It looks like that. I mean, for you to be square, it would have to look like this. You have to bring your hands back like that. If I've got it here and you're playing it way back like that, that thing's way back out here like this, and you have to pull it up in the end, it makes it harder. And you play it nose off your nose like that, and you can work your body and chase it a little bit more, get your flight versus playing it back. But even some of that stuff. Okay, so if you're aiming, if your ball is too far forward in putting, your putter's going to aim left. What is that going to make you do with your mechanics? What kind of a chance? Because if I just swing here, here's a good stroke. Where's that ball going? Guarantee you. So what am I doing as a good player? You think I'm going to putt like that and just hit it 5 feet left on a 10-foot putt? Now you're going to build in these mechanics, slice mechanics. Because what does pull do? And lag. You've already went over it, right? Makes it go right. You can't have all left fundamentals and hit right. So you go left, left, left. Oh, got to hit it right. So impact fundamental. There you go. So if you, Alex, you set up with the ball too far back, so where is that going to make the ball go? Shaft forward. Shaft, we already talked about shaft too far forward and address the lag. Makes the ball go too far away from it, makes the ball go right. Cut the item too far inside the line. Those are all three things that you do. So when you set up, you're up like this, and your hands are up forward. You're right here. And that's why I say when you set up, you want to really think of the butt of the club being pointed at right at your navel here, and your eyes here. And if you move it an inch or two like that, as it. But when you start, if you just set up and you get like this, you can see that's going to be right. And so then now what kind of stroke do I have to do? Now you make an odd stroke with yours. You go out over the top. And this way. He has to go. If he went on plane like this as right as he is, he'd have to go that. He doesn't do that. He goes this way, but he uses his path. Pull across it. That way. So you see how the mechanics of how you set up in effect, no doubt it's going to affect you. So why do you think I want everybody to line their left with their body? Because if I go this way, right with my body, I'm having to go this way, go across, hold on. I'm going this way. And putting, you can be pretty square, but you still would see most guys are full slightly. Okay? And I've got the ball on the left side of my face. Why the left side of my face? Because that's where the swinging point is, okay? That's where the hitting point is. So when I swing, boom, max energy is going to be the left side of my face on the putt. Boom. And then through there, okay? And if I play it back here, that's not, I don't want my energy going here. Okay? I don't want it to go, so I want the left side of the face for a lot of reasons, okay? Get maximum energy transfer, having it open and working the club slightly inside the backswing allows you to slightly work it out with a little bit of closing your blade. Okay. So same thing when it goes in putting on out and yours, when you go out, when you hit a stroke and you go way out like that, what do you think the ball is going to do? Go right. If you're a puller this way, if you're a putter through the ball this way, what's it going to make you do? You can, in math, make it go what, left. But in general, just pull out, and you're also not getting the they say, well, if I just tap it in like this, you go. See what I mean? If I give you a putt and say, hey, just kick one in, you kick it in like this. That's what I'm talking about. You got YouTube or puller putter, so you go, you pull this way, like that. Now you release the putt, you rotate the putt differently, but your energy is a pulling like this, okay? And it's hard to putt good long term. The best putters in the world, if you look at them in general, don't putt like this. Okay? They putt like this. Okay, they swing that putter. Okay? This stays stable. That putter is rotating. There's some rotation to that. Okay? But how you set up in your stroke makes a big difference. There you don't bend enough, so you got to get bent more. Because if you don't, you're gonna have too much of this, and you're not really seeing the line as good as you should. Okay? Say you got a really good stroke. You have the right amount of bend. You don't have this part of your stroke is really solid. That's why you, in my opinion, got a chance to make a lot of putts. You three actually are over here. I know you're working on it, but also getting that path cleaner this way, not going down the line so much. The spot in now is one thing, and this, when it's 12 degrees out, you made it. You kind of went
You want us to stand slightly,
yeah, slightly looking ball position forward too. Check your ball
just
position.
your ball position there.
Left side of your face for you to get.
Do you like the eye look at?
Yeah, any of that's fine. There's some obviously some variance there. The guy was curious. Same thing as like we were talking about in the full swing. It's like you got somebody that makes putts and they're putting from back here like that, and they never miss. This will be one guy that here go, just keep doing it. But when you're not a great putter, then you got to you need to fall into the line of what great putters do. If you're already a phenomenal putter, you're averaging 27 putts per round. Every time you tee it up, you're good. And so at that point, I got to look at it and go, well, this guy's pretty good. Just leave it alone. But if you're not in that category, then you need to get the fundamentals on your side to help you out to give you some field mechanics and some of that other stuff. Because I'm a big believer in setting the fundamentals of putting as well. Some people will just say, well, it's just a matter of, putting. And some people are right about it. I mean, there is some to putting that there's some guys that can just putt and they wipe that club around like crazy and there's no posture, there's no nothing, and they make putts. And you can't deny that. I'm not going to. But I will say this, if you got good, if you're not a good putter, you have to look at what great putters do and start to model yourself towards that. And so forth. And, but I'm trying to think who else in here what we're working on. Nick, you got a good stroke. One of the things too is if you listen to any of the Masters coverage, there are several guys that talked about it. And I don't think you guys have heard me talk about it. When they get their putts, and Brad Baxter was on there yesterday, and I heard him, it's the same thing I talked about. You guys heard him say, as soon as they get their putt, they what? They stop. And there is something about transferring energy when you stop and you're putting. It transfers a tremendous amount of energy in the ball, and it also cuts out a lot of BP rotation. And I would recommend that to you out of big time.
Where did you stop?
As soon as you hit it, you're feeling, as soon as you hit it, boom, you stop like that. What you'll find is it goes that much further forward. So if your putter went back this far a certain amount, when you putt, you probably get half of that far on the forward swing. I like to see it shorter. I mean, if you look at Stricker, Tiger, I don't know whoever you want to talk about, it's a great putter. I see him stopping way more than I do chasing. Luke Donald, who's standing, his putt, they're about the same. It just goes there. But it used to be in the old days. It used to be a long time ago. It used to be about chasing the putter down to the hole or whatever. Well, that really is going way down.
So as soon as you feel the ball release, it stops it.
You stop. As soon as you hit it, you stop. Well, the other two is what I found is it transfers a tremendous amount of energy into the ball, but it also you can identify a cut and a pull faster that way. Like if you stop the putter head and you cut one, you stop and you'll see that your blade's open. Or if you hit a pull, you see that you pull across or it just. Whereas if you have a long putt and short putt, a lot of times you don't feel that. If you get one of these, you look up and it's right, you go, I don't even know why, but if you just go boom, you stop, you go, oh crap, my putter's right in front of me. So you look down and you go, oh, my face was open, so you need to work on more release or rotation, like that, and stopping. And so for you, Alex, what I would have you working on would be, when you stop, have a little bit of turn in the left hand. For you, because you have that, just that old I used to have the same one, kind of like that. And the counter to that is this, is that. So adding the left hand hook in your stroke, your path is perfect on that. So,
Just slot rotation of that kind of.
Yep. And then for you, Nathan, I know switch back and colors, and I think that will help. And I think for you, your shoulders, working here and keeping this, practicing this drill, keeping the butt of the club in and just using this. That's a good drill for anybody, because that's how the putter is. All your clubs are really designed to swing that way. They swing, essentially. If you're just hitting with one hand, it's not real mechanical there. And some people call it a flip. It's not a flip, that's a release. It's a release. The rest of it, how you sustain and use the face on the exit side, is not going to make that a flip. If I just go flip, that's a flip. If I try to go like this, that to me is a flip, because you're going to go superficial, it's going to break them. Okay? But this, if you just throw it, it's really what a release is. And the rotation, when you do it, it's going to be with the top of the ball flight. I think that covers pretty much everything. It's mostly just to cover some basic. So if you get on the golf course or you're practicing, you lost a little bit. You got a right golf flight, or you're hitting pucks and you constantly hit them right or left. If you go back to these impact fundamentals, what are the right fundamentals? What are the left fundamentals? For right-hand golfers, obviously, what are they? And you start looking on lag, how am I set up? And you can have somebody check it off and say, look, walk through the positions first. Ball's back here. If you're hitting right pucks, don't look at somebody's stroke. I don't ever look. If I walk up and somebody hits the puck right, you know what I look at? I look at where's the putter in the address? Where's the shaft length? I go up the chin. Okay. And it's the same as should be in your golf. If you're missing something right, you go, my ball position's good. It's not an option anymore. My shaft angle is not leaning forward. It's not an option anymore. If I'm hitting it right from there, and I know my path is good on my backswing, I'm not going way inside or way outside. Nobody here has a bad backswing. But all the really good on the putter. So then now we narrow it down to downswing this way, and then the only real thing left is this, right? If you correct your setup, is my point. This is good, this is good. The only thing got left is going to be, what am I doing for impact? That's the only thing really can make it go right. That and this. Same thing if you go left. So, that covers everything. You guys did a pretty good job on that. But just knowing your downswing, and then always just remember this one thing for your own game. This is still so individual. The generals are for everybody. How you're correcting your putting, your pitching, and your full swing is so individual. But just remember, whatever you're doing, this will help you the rest of your life playing golf. It's the opposite, the opposite is always the correction. And however much you need to be corrected is however much opposite you need to feel. So if you're underplaying a foot, you have to feel overplaying a foot. That's what makes it weird. Because the solution is not on playing, believe it or not. The field solution, right? So if I've got you guys are underplaying this way, the field solution is not where the plane is at. The field solution is when you get it down, so you got to feel it here. Does that make sense? Here to get there. Does that make sense? Same thing with you when you're working the right shoulder and downswing. You're not way over. You're only a few inches. You just have to shoulder a little bit more on the plane. Yeah. You still rotate the hell out. I mean, I'm big on. I want you to rotate that day as much as you want. But you don't pull from the middle of the spine to do it. So we don't go this way. We go this way. If you start twisting from the top, that's going to be a pull almost every time. Depending on how much you do it. Might be 5 yards, might be 100 yards. You see an amateur who hits a big full slice, they pull their spine this way, and that club comes way out over their body, and they like that. So he can go. Bubba was doing some of that to play his different level of doing. So anyway, it's just knowing those basic things and just have those in your notebook. And if you get stuck, one, obviously, I'll be there to help, but go through your notebook and on your own notes where your weak spots are, and just check on things and go for the solutions every day, the same thing. Because that notebook, nobody's going to go from underplaying to really overplaying and the other way. You should try that, but I mean, weaknesses are gonna be a weakness. I don't think I'm gonna see Nick out there next week kissing the ground like this, hitting a shot. If he does, he's probably playing the best golf of his life, but he's not gonna be overdoing it, where his head's 2 inches from the ground. You know? Yeah, but in general, I mean, that's what I mean, you should be trying to overcook it as much as you can, so you take your weakness and make it a strength. But your root problems, the first day that you were here, would be the root problems, in my opinion, probably the rest of your life in golf, because it's Tiger Woods, you look at him. His root problem on his downswing is still the same as it was when he was probably 16 or 15. It's stuck behind him a little bit. You know? And when he plays his best golf, it's not stuck behind him, it's where he wants it to be. And he uses different things to get it there. But the bottom line is it's not his weak spot when he plays his best golf. But it's still, if he plays some bad golf and gets off track, he gets stuck in behind him, if that makes sense. It's never out in front of him, you know what I mean? It's not that. So, and I'm just using him as an example, because we're all the same. We all have our weak spots. If God wants to do it a certain way incorrectly, there's a reason why he wants to do it, and then you just have to make sure you correct it all the way on that. Same putting, same fishing, and all that stuff. That's it. We'll go work on some of that stuff down there.